It's all the same? Okay. All right, you guys, let's rock and roll. So here's the challenge. We have a lot of information to get through in a really short amount of time. You guys have that? Okay. I don't have a microphone, but I'll talk up. All right, so this is what I'm going to tell you in advance before we get in here. I've recorded all the sessions beginning to end. I'm going to make sure you guys get, if there's a half a sheet of paper, you should have one. If you don't, raise your hand. Mike will get you one. Got a few people that need them. Yeah, fill that out, and we'll make sure you get a copy of all the sessions, because I never do the same presentation twice, and you'll have almost a full presentation because there's too much to cover with this. All right? If you need one of these, this sheet as well, raise your hand and he'll get you one of these. You're going to need that as well. We'll reference it. All right. I'm Jennifer Bagley, CEO of CI Web Group, preferred digital marketing company for Goodman. And I'm Michael Hicklin, Chief Operating Officer, operating that camera here, right here. We're going to skip some things and just jump into the meat of this. Sound all right? We're a big team. We're all over. There's a whole bunch of us, and they're really smart. All right. So framework. First thing we're going to go through is the framework. That's your website. Second thing we'll talk about, as much as we can, is the engine, which is marketing. Your website, you guys, it's the most important thing you could have. It's you. Well, you go do other things. Everyone in this room has a second version of them that's out there selling their company and representing them on their behalf. Well, you do something else. It's either helping you, hurting you, or it's not doing squat. A website on its own with no engine is not going to go get you new business, no matter what anybody says. If somebody calls up and says, buy a website, it's $200, whatever that is, and that thing's your magic blue pill, that is not true. It does not exist. Okay? It requires work. The best thing I can tell you is we have to have a very real look at what it takes to grow a business in today's environment and know that it's not a project, it's a lifestyle. Would you agree that as a business owner, we tend to be technical tradesmen and not necessarily marketers? But in order to sell our technical trade, we got to be marketers to some extent, or we have to have really good team members or partners to do that with. Yes? Fair? All right. So some of this stuff makes your head hurt. It's okay. You get oh, by the way, you have cocktail hour. It's going to be in 2 hours, and your name badge says breakfast is at 7 a.m. It's pushed to 7:30, so you can have more cocktails after this class. I was told to tell you that. So let's get on the same page with this. I want you. How many of you guys are moms or dads? Okay, homeowners, husbands, wife. Stay in that zone for just a minute. You don't own a business right now. If you need something, you're at home. You need somebody to come fix the toilet. You want to put in some new grass in your backyard. You need a landscaper. You need a pest control guy to come out. You're looking for a restaurant. You want to order some food. You want to buy some new shoes. Whatever it is. What do you do first? What is your natural? Google it. Okay. What do you do? As seen on TV, 3 a.m. Copper Pot Man.
That's the one.
Okay, I got you. What else? Anyone else? Google it. Raise your hand if that's the first thing you do. Google it. Perfect. All right. What about ask for a referral? Okay. And if you ask for a referral, are you then going to go Google them? Raise your hand if you would go Google them first, even if your mom referred you to them. All right. So here's where we sit. And I've asked this question as a speaker. I'm not from the advertising industry. I'm a speaker, so I love meeting with people. I would rather listen to a group of soccer moms all day long than an advertising person. So think about it this way. In the last 12 months, if you were not an existing customer of this company, how many of you have made a purchase from television, radio, print, paper, mailer, flyer, door hanger, billboard? Raise your hand if you made one purchase in the last 12 months from any of those and you're not an existing client. What'd you buy? A couch. Awesome. From some new company you'd never shopped at before? Right on. You like it? You like a flyer? Okay. Did you like it? Okay, good. Anyone else? Okay, you're the first person today. So, I have a Goodman black ball for you out there. So here's the thing, you guys. How many of you have invested in any one of those things to market your business? You don't even have to answer, okay? We have to be careful. I'm not saying those things aren't relevant. I'm not saying that they don't work. We have a lot of those kinds of campaigns with our clients who are further along. And most of the time, we're using a print campaign to do one thing, and that is to drive them to a landing page, capture their email address, get them into our database, so I never have to send them a piece of print again. Okay? Companies that bought another company and everything's sitting in a file drawer. Somebody who's only collected information is sitting inside QuickBooks. You don't have email addresses, but you have mailing addresses. You bought a list. There are ways to do that that can turn into something that's an efficient process over time. But the bottom line is, this is how people buy. We don't need to guess. We don't need to get creative. There's no magic pill. This is how they buy, and it's not changing. You guys have seen toddlers with iPhones. They make you feel slow. They make me feel slow. We have 18-year-olds in our house. We have a 17, 18, and 19-year-old that by the time they are graduated from high school, they have larger databases and more influence and can reach more people than the average business that's been in business for 10 years. Okay? We're 1,000 days away from those guys starting their own companies and being our competitors, being influencers of their parents, getting handed down a business and being a competitor, being a potential client, being an employee or an employer. That also is the same group of people that in a 30-day time frame decided they were no longer going to communicate on a specific device called Facebook, because Facebook's now for old people. You remember when teenagers decided they were not on Facebook anymore? My parents are here, we're out, we're gone, we're going to Snapchat. Okay, that's our next gen. We need to move faster as business owners. We feel like technology's kind of curving. It's not curving. It's doing this. It's going straight up. 4 years ago, I was talking about your website needs to be responsive. It needs to work properly on a mobile device. We still have dealers that don't have responsive websites. Everyone has a smartphone. Promise you they're missing a important clothing item before they're missing that. 2 years ago, I was talking about wearable devices, watches. Those took over. Last year on Amazon, one of the #1 sales were these two little devices here. What are they? Alexa and Home. Absolutely. Anyone have one? Do you love her? You have two. I have both of them. I let them duke it out. They talk to each other. Yes, our whole house runs on them. Whether you like those devices or not, the reality is those people who do use them, they talk to them. And they will ask Alexa, Alexa, turn on the lights in the living room. Alexa, turn up the heat. Alexa, turn down the heat. Alexa, dim my lights 50%. Alexa, find me an air conditioning repair company in Edmonds, Washington with the best reviews. That's a long query, and that's real, because she will spit back an answer, and you'll say, okay, Alexa, call the first one, and she'll place the call. Okay. This whole internet space, all it is once you understand the logic of it, marketing is actually really easy. People query and look for things, just like you guys said you do, right? That's how you find things. You do a query, you do a search. Some of you might talk to your computer or your watch or an Alexa. Some of you might type it in. Some of you might be texting drivers, California people. Okay. Stoplight texters. Okay, so if you had an Alexa, you would need to do that. All right. Everyone searches for something. That search is a piece of data, and that data needs to connect with something to present options. What we need you guys to do is be an option, and those people are going to be suspects. We need to present a nice option and have some credibility so they're not suspects, they become prospects. Then we need to educate them. We need to make them feel good. We need to make it easy so they become opportunities. And then you guys need to close the deal so they become clients. That's it. That's marketing in a nutshell. Google wants the exact same thing as people do. Do you know what you're talking about? Do you have what I need? That is, are you relevant? So Google wants to know, are you relevant to what the consumer is looking for, where they're looking? That's factor one. Next is, are you current? Are you up to code? Are you up to standards? Are you trained? Yeah, that's why you're here. That's why you're with Goodman. They're keeping you up, right? You got the latest and greatest technology. They're investing in you. Google wants the same thing as people do. And the third one is are you trusted? Do other people like you? I don't care if you say you're number one. Do they like you? Are you endorsed by others? That is our world. Your priorities. This list, this is everything that a $20 million company is doing today. They don't have an issue, and I don't know everyone's size of companies, everything, it depends on where you're at. If you are just getting started and there's one, it's just you. You need to do the first thing first. That's a website. You need to make a copy of you. Good one. A really good one. That copy of you needs to have voice. That's content. It's the least budgeted for and most important element of any marketing plan. It's your ability to speak. Online, Google is deaf and blind. It reads Braille. So it's not video. It's not pictures. It's text on a page. Google has to crawl it. If I stop talking and I just sit up here and blink, there's going to be a long hour, huh? Okay? You have to communicate. That's what content is. No one wants to buy content, and no matter how much you guys promise to write it, you're not doing it. I don't trust you. So the third piece is, you guys say this after me, okay? I want you to say the word bling. Bling. Say it again.
Bling.
Okay. That is reviews. I want you to think about it like bling. I'm not going to go through another summer and not come home with the bling. I'm not going to go on another appointment and not come home with bling. Okay? Consumers are immediately influenced subconsciously by those stars. If you have them, they move that way. If they're bad, they move away. If you don't have them, they don't see you. Okay? This process is based on doing the right things in the right order at the right time. If I go spend money on a print campaign and I drive them back to a website that's a turnoff, I'm burning cash. If I spend money on pay-per-click and I don't drive them to a landing page that's designed to convert, I'm burning cash. If I spend money on search engine optimization on a website that's 2 years old and the technology is outdated, I'm burning cash. We have to do these things in the right order. I had a client, this is probably 6 years ago, we had him on page 1 of Google for 200 phrases. In the top 5, his phone doesn't ring. Mathematically, it doesn't make sense. We've called him 3 times to have a strategy session to tell him, if you don't get some reviews on your Google business listing, your phone is never going to ring, no matter how many phrases we keep adding to page 1 of Google. Because the second they look and they search for your name, there is no what? No bling. All right? That is so important right there. So important. You can't go through summer without it. So I'll tell you how to get it, how to make sure you walk out of every home with some bling or office, business. We'll make it easy, put a system in place, and then you have to follow it. And that's it. And as much as I've had tons of company owners say, there's no way my technicians are going to change what they do. I was like, give them to me. You're dad. I'm coach. I got them. I haven't had a problem yet. Every company I've done training with their technicians and their service techs and their installers, they're getting reviews, and they don't have to pay them extra to get them. So it's doable, but you got to have them. You got to have them. The final piece, that's your engine. All of this stuff, which that's a must. You got to have those things. Some of these things you just have to do. Get them out of the way. You got to have them in place. And then we can get into a place where we can start thinking about, how can I market and grow? How can I start getting my phone to ring? How can I start recouping some of these investments? That's your marketing. Typical with the website, I'm not getting enough leads. I don't like it. It's ugly. It's old. I can't update it. Somebody else owns it. There's lots of problems with website. The biggest one is it doesn't serve your business properly. You guys have 2 or 3 or 4 different companies you run, even if you have one LLC. You have an air conditioning business for a certain period of the year. You have a heating business for a certain period of year. Totally different products, different consumers, different time of the year. Those are different businesses. I learned that the hard way with you guys in the beginning. You have seasons and you have God, weather, right? That change that, alter that. And then you have the middle period, 70 degrees. That's different. We've got to do the right things in the right order so you guys can start achieving results, progressive results. If we think of this like a project, it will fail. If you think I can do this one, boom, that's going to be golden. No, because everybody else is changing around you. Technology is changing. Apps are changing. Consumers' buying habits are changing. And I'll tell you what, the 635,000 other pages that want to get to page one, number one, they're going for it. Can't stay still. All right, websites. Anybody ever hired just one guy, Bob, to build a website? Just Bob. Okay, it's all right. I did too. I got you. If there's any Bobs in here, I'm sorry, but I've always called him Bob. I actually have a video about it. It's funny. Moms don't give birth to Bobs that can build websites. Okay. These personality styles of these guys are so different, guys and girls. They're not birthed in the same body. A designer, they went to art school. They're creative. They dress nice. They have real friends. Their living room is decorated. They know what feng shui is. Okay. A developer, not so much. You ask him what he's doing on Friday nights, like hanging out with friends. I'm like, there's no cars here. No, in the garage, man. I'm with, AK-47 and we're just shooting it up. I'm like, Does he have a real name? Yeah, that's AK. I'm like, yeah, that's an abbreviation of his handle. Does he have a real name? I've known him for like 10 years. Okay. They're different. Their computer screen looks like the Matrix and they see real things in it. We don't, right? An engineer, anybody know an engineer? What are they like? Is he sitting in here? What are they like? Are they fast thinkers? Are they processors? Do they guess? Oh, no. Are they going to give you an emotionally based response based on their feelings? Like the designer? No. So if you have a designer do it, you're going to have a beautiful website with no brain. If you have a developer do it, you're going to have a functional site that's ugly. If you have an engineer do it, he's still researching. And oh, by the way, you need a writer that understands heating, air conditioning, your seasons, your weather patterns, your buying trends, your products. They need to understand the rebates, manufacturers' discounts. They need to understand there's high efficiency tax credits going on right now because we're in tax season and we should be thinking about that. They need to understand your search phrases. And oh, by the way, they have to be experts at Google search. They're hard to find. They have to know the difference between a duct and a duct or ductless. I'll tell you, that's the hardest part. All right, so competitive advantage right out of the gate. When somebody lands on your site, I need them not to have to move, and they know who you are, what you do, where you do it, how to reach you, how to reach you, how to reach you, how to reach you, depending on who they are. What do the people think about you? And are you transparent? Can they do the homework? Social media. So I'm going to go through slower for just a second, or we'll go to some live sites so I can show you who you are, what you do. Remember, you have different businesses for different seasons. Don't merge heating and air conditioning as if it happens in the same months, in the same time of year. Okay, what you do, where you do it, how to reach you, click to call. If I tap that phone number and nothing happens, you can call your web person today. If you go to your website and you tap that number and nothing happens. Schedule service, you got to give your current clients a home. They're not going to come request a quote, contact us, give them a home, make them feel comfortable. You know, the average consumer that's had HVAC service in the last 6 months has no clue who the person is or the company name. That's not okay. Realtors are really good at staying in touch with their clients. We need to follow something similar. We need to give them a home. So schedule service. If my clients come back to their site, this is a CRM system. It is. The third item on the list, website, content, CRM, which is contact relationship management system. We install them on every website. We don't make a penny because we want them on every website, whether you buy them or not. But what I want to know that every lead, every opportunity goes into a database, not into an email account that never makes it to a database. Only gets to QuickBooks if the deal closes. That's where we are right now. That's a huge missed opportunity. I also want to make sure that if a customer comes back, they can see any conversations they've had with you, any appointments that they've booked, share documents. Something as simple as, I have one of my dealers, I was like, it was a young guy, I just looked at you remind me of. So one of my guys, I was like, look, take a picture of the filter every time you go out, drop it into your scheduling system, and tell your clients, hey, if you're ever at Home Depot, since you're not on our maintenance plan, you should be on our maintenance plan. But since you're not, just come back to the website. I'll make sure you got a picture of the filter in there. You can grab it off there so you don't have to go home with without that being checked off the honey-to-do list. Something that simple. His clients come in there all the time. When his clients have an issue, they take a picture of it, upload it, he gets to see it first. And it's all in the system. Warranty, maintenance, all their documents, proposals, quotes, estimates. I got people that were sending out paper by the buckets. And now you got a client trying to find this stuff. They can't find that stuff. How many of you are good at filing your warranty paperwork? Okay? So all year, right? Most people are not. Most homeowners are not. It's in a shoebox somewhere, and now they can't remember you, so they call somebody else to come service your work. That's not good. Put the information in place so it's easy to get to. Look, we're paperless. I'm going to send you a quote proposal. It's all in the system. All your paperwork's in the system. If you ever need anything, it's right here. Don't lose that card. They're actually going to keep the magnets. Little things, little things. So that's a scheduling system. On here, very quickly, every single page is designed to put a piece of paper inside Google's drawer. If you sell it, you need a piece of paper for it. You need a page for it. Otherwise, you're not in the drawer. Does that make sense? Yeah? Okay. So I'm going to pull. So this is one of our client sites. And this is a good way to see what does Google see when it looks at my site. So right here, Google sees 420 pages for residential heating and cooling. What do you notice about those pages, how they're listed on there, that's different than anything you've seen? What does it have? What does it have? Woo! Okay, so that is your competitive advantage this year. That's new. There is now the ability for HVAC specifically, it's called Schema for HVAC. It allows us to recode a website and take your cumulative reviews from all places and hard code them on your website. So you're cumulative because they're there because you promise you're going to get them. That bling right here. So if I go pull, I told you guys about filing the paper and having to label it right? I've done a lot of these in a week. Okay, so I just copied the label of that page, right? So this label's rather long. No one's going to put all that in there, but I want to see where it is. So it's page 1, number 1. What do you notice about it when it stands off the page here? It has bling. Perfect. That star rating, and this is very new. These guys, we built their website, went live, and called them 2 months after we went live. We're like, we need to rebuild your website. They're like, why? It's not a fun process. Because there's something really cool I want to show you, and you need it, because this isn't going to last very long. As soon as everybody has stars and all their reviews posted, it's going to be oblivious to consumers. They mentally will check out. But right now, that's huge. We have clients that we've done this with in the last 6 months that are sitting on page 1, position 8, where normally you would only get 1% of the conversions. They're capturing 18 to 20% of the conversions as if they were sitting on page 1, number 1, just because of the stars. Because at a quick glance, boom, your eyeballs actually can fixate on that and you can see it. You're not even reading the content then. That's huge. It's a big deal, and it's right now. So I'm excited about that. These pages, let me just hit reset. So there's 165,000 pages in this drawer, right? We talked about the number of pages in the drawer? Okay. So I'm going to start deleting some of these words because I want to get an idea of how that page. So we're still at 165,000. And it's still sitting on page 1, position 1. So I'm going to get rid of rebates. Let's just go with specials. And now what do we got? So now there's 229,000 pages in that drawer, and they're still sitting in page 1, position 1. Let's get rid of specials and just go to discounts. So now there's 215,000. It's still page 1, number 1. Here's the thing. When you first start off, this is hard. You have to have 1 page per service, per city that you want to get found in. And that's going to just put you in the drawer. And we have to start making those pages popular, which is link building, social marketing, local listings, all that stuff, all the marketing engine things. We have to make those pages popular in order to make this 1 page be number 1 of 215,000 other pages. When it gets there, their phone rings. In fact, that client came up to our table and he was like, this is the leads I got today. He's got around 160 pages sitting on page 1, position 1 of Google. That works. That's dollars in your bank. At that point, you're not saying, it's not a conversation where you sit down and you say, what's my marketing budget? You're like, what do we want to sell more of and where? We have to transition out of how much am I going to spend to how much do I want to make and how am I going to go after it? And it's very strategic planning. Does that make sense? Okay. So, on your sites, yes.
Sorry, just a question. Did you say that you have the ability to combine different review websites into one?
Technically, that is a fixed number that we indicate on the site on every single page. So I would say that ethically, it should be a combined total of all of your reviews across all of your sites. Right now, Google does not have any penalties or rules related to it, and hardly any developers know how to do it. They're hard to find, but we are seeing handfuls of HVAC dealers pop into this. There are other industries that are knocking it out of the park right now. HVAC, I'm seeing sprinkles of them. Lots of cities I go looking, and there's one website that's got it and done well. At some point, when there are more developers that know how to do it, costs get driven down, then Google will make some kind of recommended guidelines that you should follow. Right now, there are none. So my philosophy is you have a really good window to take advantage of this. You should be ethical, and it should be a combined total of your reviews, and you need to participate in building those reviews anyway. So it gives you some motivation to do what you need to do anyway.
So you're combining 50 Yelp reviews and 50 Google reviews
And Facebook and everything else, yes. So we manage for our dealers, I would say 90% of our dealers, we manage their local listings accounts, which is on here. It's actually next. Good job. All right. You remember when Dad used to say, if they're not in the yellow book, they're not a real business. Well, now there's 70 of them, and that's what Google says. So Google validates your company based on a whole bunch of different things. What your website address is at the footer of your website. If you don't have your your physical address at the footer of your website, it has to be coded and showcased to Google properly. Has to be on your contact us page, coded properly. It also has to be on your ICANN report, which is who is. When you buy a domain name, www.mywebsite.com, and you go fill out that domain register stuff. So first off, don't let your web companies do that, or they will keep it. That needs to be yours. Second thing is, don't even have them be administrators on there where they put it in their name, because if they're in Arizona and they put their Arizona address on there and Google's checking your site and you're in Dallas, Texas, you have a mismatch that you can't authorize that. That's a problem. In addition to that, there are 70 local listing accounts: Yelp, Yext, White Pages, Yellow Pages, City Search, Bing, Yahoo, Google, Facebook, hundreds of them. But there are 70 primaries. You guys, that half sheet of paper, if you fill it out for one reason only, fill it out to get that report. We will run a report on all 70 of those local listings, and we will show you how your business looks. In the last few sessions, every time we've ran the report, we had companies in there that had your company name, your address, and your competitor's phone number. He was happily answering your phones. And you won't know if you don't look at that. Those have to match. That Business listing squatting, where I go create business listings in the biggest companies. Okay. Biggest companies' names, but I put my phone number in it and just answer their calls all day. That happens all day long. Those have to be set up properly. They have to be managed correctly. They have to be monitored. If you get a review on any site, you need a real-time reviews notification because you have one responsibility in this whole mess. What do you need to do? Got to reply. Good, bad, or indifferent. You got to reply. Okay, you have to create that synergy. A lot of times people will get mentally caught up on a bad review that's from an ex-competitor, or it's not valid, or it's the one you gave everything to and they were unhappy. I got it. Okay. Turn it. We have to turn it off. There's nothing you can do about it. Everything you put on the internet is permanent. Tell your children to have a different class for that. Okay. So the only way you can work, you have to be proactive so you don't have to be so reactive. If you don't have a proactive approach, those kind of penalties hurt. If you have a proactive approach, you are getting positive reviews from every single client when you walk in that door, and they're going to the right place for the right reason. Who cares if the bad one goes in? In fact, we even have the ability to take a bad review, hold it in a quarantine for 14 days, let like 20 good ones pass by, then release. So there's things you can do. All right. When it comes to reviews, there's got to be logic as far as where it goes. Did I show you folk seating? The Google business listing? Okay. Jeez. One thing you guys need to do, you need to Google your company name. We didn't look at a screen like this, right? Okay. You need to Google your company name, and you need to know what that says right here. That is Google business listing. Is anybody in the Bay Area in California in here? None? Okay, good. All right, so for now, y'all are safe, and you can actually make money on this. That will go away. Google business listing, and you can get to this from going to Google My Business. That's all you have to do is type in Google My Business, and it'll say sign in. If you have a map listing and you can't sign in, you need to fight like heck to get your login and password. It's somebody's Gmail account. Someone has a Gmail account that's attached to your company's name, and you need it. It's really important. If you wind up not getting it, that is a major problem, and we have one bulldog in the office that actually has people she can call at Google, but she's scared to put on the phone with clients, so it just makes me nervous. But she can fix stuff like that. Okay, she gets it done. That's hard to fix. What we need to see is when somebody goes to Google, don't spend your time getting your reviews on Angie's List and Yelp and everything else. Get them here first. Google is God. This is Google business listing. In the digital space, how you look on YouTube, how you look on Google, your Google Analytics, your Google Rank, your Google Placement, your Google Map, when you do a search on your phone, that's where it pulls from, that map listing. Siri, when I talk to Siri and I ask for something in Edmonds, that's what it pulls from. It's not pulling from pay-per-click. It's not pulling from organic. It pulls from here. Very, 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 very important. This can make you money. Okay, so let me back up. This can make you money and it can take it away. If you get a referral and somebody Googles your company and this is empty, they're out. If somebody Googles your company name and it's 501 and this says opens tomorrow, close now, they're out. Think about it this way. You might not offer emergency service. It needs to look like you do. That's why we put online scheduling systems on websites. Because the average consumer, the average person, home, mom, dad, cannot take care of their own family business Monday through Friday, 9 to 5. They're as busy as you are. When do they get to it? When do you guys get to take care of your own personal family stuff? What time is it? What time is it? 6, 7, 3:15. 3:15. Out of school? Jeez, I wish. I haven't seen my own house in 2 months. Mail. Okay, so that's important. Every tiny little move. Don't have your business say that it closes at 5 o'clock. Put an online scheduling system, say you can schedule time with us tomorrow, and you make your calendar showcase what your availability is, not the site. You don't want to lose them and they go look for something. Okay? If you were to come up and we did a quick strategy session and I pull this up and it has no reviews, I would tell you that if you were in my family or my company, I would tell you you have a project to do. By Monday, I need you to call every single friend you have, your family, your cousin, your brother, and you need to come home with 10 reviews per person in your company. And then on Tuesday, then we can start talking strategy. There's certain things you just got to get that done. You just got to get that done. You have to do it. Get it out of the way and be done with it. All right, other reviews. Let me pull, let's just pull this for a second. So we went through content, 1 page per service. That map will only work in the city you have a physical address in. If you have the most, the best, and the most frequent reviews, and you update your images more than anyone else. That's the only way that map can make you money in an organic search. So if you want to do business outside of the city your address is in, this is what's required to do that. You've got to get city pages on your site to show Google to file pieces of paper in other cities where you want to do business or where you do business. So if you have a website and all it says on there is AC repair, AC service, AC maintenance, and there's no geography, there's no location, Google's not going to know where to find that. So you're going to wind up in a drawer like this. How many pages? Okay. AC, how many pages? No, I have to think about saying that number. Cooling. No consumers look for cooling. The worst page on every website, our services. So if you think of the average HVAC, HVAC website, I can pull up almost every site in this room. It's going to say home. Home. That's a junk drawer. Right? About us, junk drawer. Our services, junk drawer. FAQ, junk drawer. Blog, junk drawer. Discounts, junk drawer. Financing, junk drawer. That doesn't work. None of it does. We got to get down and dirty into content, and we have to base it on how people think and what they say and type. All right. There are other elements. So I was going to show you the city pages very quickly. We can knock 2 birds out with 1 stone. We have an app. You can install it on your phone. Every time you go on a job, the first thing you do is you check in. And check-in is just like Facebook. Has anybody checked in on Facebook? You guys should be checking in here in my class and be like, I'm tag with Jennifer Bagley at CIO Group at Goodman. You should do that. Grab your phones. Knock it out. Okay? So, check in. Every time you check in, if you guys check in and you tag me, you're immediately in front of my 56,000 fans on my Facebook page. That's cross-marketing. That's easy. Here, if you check in, you just got to pin on a map outside of where your physical office is located. We get that pin, and we know you just checked in, and maybe you took a selfie, or you said just finished installing a new air conditioning system. When you get done with the job, you're going to do just what you normally do. You guys asked, are you guys happy with everything that we've done? Do you ask that to your clients? Okay, do you give them a little tour of the thermostat, show them how to program it and set it all up? Show them your work? Awesome. One more step. They're happy. You're going to say, would you mind if I sent you a quick text message? I'm not allowed to come back to the office without a good review. And they'll be like, okay. And you'll send them a text message right then. They're staring at you. You've got their soul in their eyeball. You're like, oh, thank you so much. You know, that's like, can I get a review? Okay. Can I send you a text message and you give me a review? Fantastic. Awesome. I'll shoot that to you. And then if they need help, you just walk around the counter and go, okay, click that and that and that, and then leave me a love note and just hit send. Boom, you're done. You walked out with what?
Bling.
Bling. Fantastic. That bling comes to us. I now have a check-in and I have new content, and I didn't have to pay for the content. Guys, writing a blog article from someone who knows HVAC, and it's $100 a pop. 1 page of content's $100 a pop. They're expensive. It's the most expensive thing on my line item for everything I pay for. That's free. It's got quality content, localized content with the review. It's new, it's fresh, and it's coming on there all the time, and you're getting reviews constantly on a regular basis. Now you have city pages. So what we do when we see you check in and have a review, we go build a city page, we add content to it, and then if you want, we start linking to it, make it popular, move it up the ranks. Now you have a page that makes you money because they gave you a good review. The reverse is try to get reviews on Angie's List where you got to be a member to see it, to join the club. Or Yelp, where you could have 300 positive reviews and tomorrow they just decide they're going to showcase the 47 bad ones you have and the other ones are going to show up in the bottom link that says read more reviews. Maybe, no, never mind. With no logic. Take care of you, your Google business listing, and that's you. Fair? How am I on time? I'm probably running out, huh? Okay, so we did not get through a lot, but we got through some. Is this helpful? A little bit? Okay, so a couple things. This plan, this is decent, but I can't tell you what you need unless I know where you are and where you want to go. Some of you want to grow and take over the world and acquire other companies. Awesome. Some of you want to sell this thing and sail off into the sunset. Awesome. Some of you just want to be able to make a living and call it a day and don't like people enough to have a bunch of staff. Awesome. Some of you have kids that are decent enough to hand it down to. Awesome. But every one of those is a different strategy. If you've been in your business and you have a huge database and it's on paper, that's a different process. If you actually have a database and we can start doing some things to generate new business from old clients, that's a different process. There is not a salesperson on this planet or strategist that can tell you what you should do in your business without you being as honest with them and them digging in and doing the work ahead of time. Otherwise, they're shooting in the blind. So that being said, I recommend first you fill out that half sheet of paper, give it to us. We'll do reports, and we'll set up time for a free strategy session. Here's the catch. I've probably spoke about 60 times in the last 90 days, and I have around 3,000 of those pieces of paper. So if you really want to talk, then write on there, urgent, 911, right now. If you're like, okay, this is cool, I'm going to attend your webinars through the Goodman education portal, great, and you want to talk in September or when the summer dies down, then write that on there. If you don't have a website or you have a 5-page website and you need something that looks good right now, I have one way to bypass all that. I have, this is an event only. You don't go into the big list, but we can set you up with a website just like this. All the bells and whistles that this one has, minus the review system, because you won't have that. You'll have 15 pages of content. So because we do this for Goodman, I mean, this is our baby, we basically built a $30,000 platform. And the only difference to us is how much content we write or transfer. So if you're interested, it's $300 a month, nothing down, no other expenses. It'll put you in a 15-page, beautifully designed website, and you can scale over time. That'll give us time to catch up, you time to get through summer, and then keep adding to it. It's not the miracle pill, but it will help you close more business because it'll make you look extremely professional, and you'll stand out above everyone else. Is this helpful? Yes. Okay, you're awesome. Have a great day. We're here. My Michael is here. You guys are awesome. Thank you. Yep, that's those. Hi. I do. They're in my husband's pocket somewhere, I'm sure. Do you have one?
No.
Did you fill out your paper? Did I get it? Yeah, I want it. Okay, awesome.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Appreciate you. Hi.
That's the good portion of it. I have a website already.
Okay.
How would I transition for you guys?
We
Take
build
over.
it on ours, and then when we're done and you approve it to go live, we
So-
just switch the DNS.
So it would still be the same web address?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, as long as you own it. Now, if you don't own it, then we got work to do. We got to finagle and threaten some people and get it back.
Okay. Thank you.
So,
Do you have any more of those sheets? With the
which
red-
ones?
with the
These
red
ones?
thing on it?
Yeah. You can have that? Absolutely. So for this one, you guys, if you want to do this, fill it out. We text you a link to sign up, or we'll email it to you. Sign up while you're here, and then get him to do your design brief. It'll take 15 minutes. You guys will have a new design by Tuesday, Wednesday of next week. Down and dirty, because you guys are going to. So fill that out and give it to us. It's going to have your email address, your cell phone number. So we'll email you and text you the link to sign up.
Okay.
And then when you sign up, I'll get it in. You'll know you'll get a receipt. Find Mike and grab him for 10 minutes and say, I signed up. I need to do my design brief. Get it done while you're here because you guys, it's going to get hot and you guys just disappear on us.
Right.
I want it down and dirty. You commit to approve everything and you will go live within the next 60 days. I need a handshake, blood, spit in your hand. We got to do something.
You hear that? So do it.
You cannot disappear.
No, we'll be right out there.
Okay?
So what's the difference between the $1,200 and it was $200, something like that?
So this is a one-page landing page. Here's a landing page. Right here. That is a landing page. So it's $150 a month. That's your landing page. It's one page. So this is great online brochure, but you can't optimize this. It's never going to go get you business. You're not adding pages. You're not adding content. It's just a landing page. It looks better than most HVAC sites. That's what this one is. Okay, inexpensive. That's someone that doesn't want to invest in marketing anytime soon. They don't have a website typically, and it just is going to give them one page so they've got something up. They can start getting some credibility on their URL. This is a 15-page website. So we do a custom design. You have a full site. So you have a website. You can add content on limited pages, but we only start with 15. Content management system. It has a blog in it, but you don't have any blog content to start off with. It's just turning it on. You have 3 promotional images, which are going to be graphics like these. So we'll design 3 of those, 1 slider. We'll write 6 pages of content. So for you guys, it's probably going to be like AC repair and service in blank. AC installation and replacement blank. Because you've got 6, what you should have is 12 pages. So if you can add 6 more pages, that'd be great because you'd have 6 air conditioning, 6 stadium. You have a SARE calculator, which I didn't show you guys any of that stuff. So this is our SARE calculator. People use it all the time. Clients use it to calculate savings. So if you're selling, you can say, with a higher efficiency system, you're going to save this much annually. By the way, here are my promotions. And oh, by the way, we have financing. Yes, you can still go to Hawaii and buy the air conditioner. Okay. This is the troubleshooter, which we put on every site. And we do this because if somebody answers your call, you guys go do service and you change a battery and a thermostat and you send them a bill, it's the quickest way to get a negative review. We don't like it when you guys give bad reviews. So this allows a consumer to basically come here and say what's wrong and fix simple things. Breaker, battery, changing a filter, tiny things. So it'll save you time, but it also has made it so people bookmark the websites. Right. And they use them again, which like HVAC's not sexy. So that's hard. Terminology page and FAQ is what you say. Admin, all of our sites have them on them. Usually it's going to be under resources. So they'll have promotions, SARE calculator, troubleshooter, FAQ, terminology. If you have a maintenance agreement, bring it. If you have financing available, bring it to the table and we'll integrate those. And a lead capture form. So this is the hottest entry-level website out there. Does that make sense? Like, we're going to make it look like $1 million, but it doesn't have the meat to it that a big website has. Just grow into it. Otherwise, normally what will happen is you'll sit down with our strategist. They'll count the number of pages on your site. They'll do the number of content. You're going to wind up with a one-time investment to start off that's between $3,500 and $5,000. And then you're going to have $100 a month hosting and maintenance fee. And then they're going to talk to you about marketing things. I would rather, I'm doing this because I don't have enough resources to call everybody back, number 1. But number 2 is, I want you to have money available to be able to do some of the marketing things that are going to make you money or you'll never grow. So if you spend everything up front on a website, I couldn't do that in my first year of business because I would be broke. But now we can. It's not as hard.
So after you do 300, you want to do all that, that's additional. So
Yes. If you want to add, and that's not, I mean, those are 3 things that I know people usually need, and sometimes I get to touch. You need SEO, you need content, you need blogging, you need backlink. Everything that's on that red sheet, eventually you need to get to. We just have to prioritize it. One thing at a time, we'll get there. Makes sense?
I think, well, we just paid somebody to mess with our website, and But we gotta call them all the time. I just tried to Google it right here and I couldn't find it.
For what? What you trying to Google it for?
Well, I even typed in HVAC. I even put in a town that we're in.
Are you paying them for SEO?
I don't even know what we're looking for.
Or did you just buy a website?
I just called them recently and they said that they changed their search words and it was supposed to come up in when we did our Google My Business. And
What's your website address?
it's affordableheating-ac.com.
Okay. Yeah. Trying to pick up my balance and that stuff around.
Oh, the internet's so slow. This makes me crazy. Okay, so first thing, the site's not set up on the server right. Google has a preferred URL structure. It's www.blank.com. So if you're doing SEO, if they're doing real SEO and they're doing link building, you're only getting 50% of the credit. That can't, because Google thinks it's two different sites. With the W is one, without it's a different one. So that's no go. This page is called Service Installation 4456.
Pardon me real quick. Sorry, I have to.
This is
What's the 4456?
that's junk. This is not supposed to be on there. Google says no special characters. Those are stop things. But service installation has no value.
That's the keywords that would find it.
That's first service installation.
And there's probably 4 billion of them.
It doesn't make any sense. Then you have preventative maintenance, junk. Energy efficiency tips, junk. Blog, maybe. Let's go see what's in there.
There's nothing in there.
And you guys, no one designed this website. This is a free WordPress install. And they left the flipping content that comes with the free WordPress install.
Right.
Ah, okay,
Yeah, we just
so
paid a good bit of money for that thing.
And
Yellow Pages?
Yeah.
How'd you know that?
I replace these all the
Oh, yeah.
time. I hate them. And you just print phone books for firewood. That doesn't make me crazy. So at least your phone number's a good call. I've seen a lot of them that aren't. Your address has got to be in the footer of the site. It's got to have your social media links close. There's nothing crawlable that tells people you do air conditioning, heating. None of your actual what you sell is on here, nor the location. So that's the only place it is, which is in a header. That's going to show up as duplicate content. Okay. Let me glance at, see if this pulls up. Come on. You guys tell me how I am on time. 48. I don't know. Facebook good. Twitter's not installed. No reviews are connected. No AdWords. No organic. No traffic. Amount of content.
Looks like it needs all work.
Well, I think your site's turned off for
You're
Google.
actually 5 minutes past.
I am? Shoot. Okay. All right.
3:35.
Thank you. So something. I'll have to look at it when this report pulls up, but I think your site's turned off for Google because it only saw one page, which basically means the robots file says don't come here. But I'll look. But it doesn't matter anyway because you're not going to find it no matter how you search. The only way you might be able to find it is if you look by the company name.
which is
Maybe.
really pointless for customers that are
Yeah,
looking
they knew that
for,
much. They already got the number.
Yes.
Yeah, I guess we're going to have to get some work now. Again.
Let's roll.
Thank you so much for
Yeah,
your help.
thank you for your help.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
If you do that, you will save more in the missed opportunities that
You know, than just wasting a bunch of money for a place that you turn
cancel it.
off.
Did they make you sign a contract?
No.
Good. All right, you ready to roll? Thanks, you guys.
So if I fill this out, I come see you after this next one.
Yep. Don't do that.
I'm waking up for you.
There's cocktails in an hour.
That's why I'm shaking it off.
Shake it off. Came to the wrong class to yawn. How you guys doing? Are you sleepy like this man up here? He's in the front row, must grow seat. All right. Are you cold? Is it? Where are you from? Oh, you got a tan. You're Florida. I can tell. I love it. Okay, so I need to record this real quick. I'm still recording. Okay, we'll just let it roll. All right. You guys save the best for last? Okay, so we have a lot to cover in a really short amount of time. I think I've covered 25% of what I want to cover in every class. So what I'm doing is we're recording everything. I've got my screen recorded. Mike's back there. He's got the camera on. There's a half sheet of paper in front of you. If you don't have it, raise your hand, and he'll bring you one. Fill those out, and we'll make sure you get copies of these because this is a really complicated topic to try and cram into 45 minutes. Fair? All right. So, very quickly, brass tacks. I'm Jennifer Bagley, CEO of CI Web Group, or for a digital marketing company for Goodman. Have been in HVAC, working with HVAC for almost 8 years now. Michael Hicklin, Chief Operating Officer, and he's back there working the camera right now. Why do you guys think we record these?
Training purposes.
Training, okay. Any other thoughts? See how good looking you are? Yeah, I can Facebook that right now. I like that. What else? Have you ever woke up in the morning and said, I wish there were more me? Wish you could duplicate yourself. Not me, silly. You wish you could duplicate yourself. You can. If I take this video, slice it into 10 different little tiny segments, and I optimize every one of them with a different label based on what somebody's looking for, throw them up on YouTube, send them over to my social media team, tell them to send them on auto post once every 75 days for the next 3 months, or 3 years, or 13 years, drop them on a blog post or a little content on it, give it a new label. What are these 10 minutes going to do for me? How long do they work? Forever. Do they grow in value over time? What happens to a YouTube video the longer it's out there? Gets more views, gets more hits. So if you took your best salesperson and you created a whole bunch of replicas of them and put it out there so it could grow and consumers could get the answers to their questions and find you, well, you were in Tahiti on the week vacation you really need to go on. Would that work for you? Okay, well, all right. You got in my end of day class always. Let me help you. Why did you guys start your business? What were the 3 main drivers for getting into business on your own? I want more.
Freedom.
Perfect. I got freedom money. All right, there's one more. Starts with the T. Time. Every entrepreneur starts for the same thing, right? They want more time, more money, more freedom. Do you feel like you have any of those? No. Okay, so let's get you some vacation hours. Now, if I could record you and you're the best salesperson in your company, and I could have you out there working while you're in Tahiti on vacation, would that be beneficial? Yes. I need my morning answer, not my afternoon answer. That's what this is about, you guys. We break things into 4 quadrants. 1, do you have the right technology in place? Technically, this is a marketing class. We obviously, we run companies. We know a lot more than just marketing. Technology is that's your key to freedom in many, many ways. If you have duplicate, redundant processes, inefficiencies, a lack of information, you can't access things quickly, you're missing technology. If you're overextended paying for things you don't need to, that's technology. If you have to pay for unnecessary resources when it can be done using a system that costs $50 a month versus a full-time salary, should we do that? Should we? Yes. Okay. So do you have the right technology to convert your time to cash? All right. To eliminate inefficiencies. Next is strategy. We have to think more. We have to be more strategic about what we do. A lot of times we get caught up in business and we just start throwing stuff up against the wall to see if it can stick. You guys get targeted by a lot of salespeople trying to sell you a lot of stuff, right? Everything's like the magic blue pill. Blue pill. This will fix everything. That doesn't exist. I don't know what to say, but that doesn't exist. There's no quick fix to this. There's no magic system you can turn it on and boom, your phone's going to ring off the hook tomorrow. This takes very careful strategic planning, well thought out, and it takes us doing the right things in the right order at the right time. And that's hard because this is not your forte, no different than I'm obviously not going to go pick my own heating and air conditioning system and install it myself. That'd be a bad day. Louder. I need to be louder. This is what you guys get for sitting in the back. I'm just kidding. Can you turn off the air conditioner or something? You can't? It's just loud. Can you hear me now? I've been talking for like 95 hours. All right, next is network. You guys, that is, who do you listen to? Who are you surrounded by? Who are you asking for information and advice? Have you ever asked the wrong person for information? Broke Uncle Harry about money? Divorced Aunt Jane about relationships? The one-person marketing company about how to become a $20 million company? Okay. We need to know who we're working with. We need to know who we're getting information from, and we need to be careful. All right. In our world, so, okay, I'll come back to that. And then finally, it's mindset. This is how you think. This will make or break you. Every one of us, myself included. Two people face the same situation. One's like, oh, that was a lesson learned. The other person's like, rah. Right? One's going to have a different path. Technically, it's the exact same thing. It's choices. There are a lot of people that come to these sessions that walk in with preconceived notions about digital marketing. Sucks rock, doesn't work. SEO doesn't work. It's not going to work for me. It's not necessarily that that's true, but it may be your experiences, or that marketing companies are scammers. No different than the consumer that thinks that all contractors are scammers. So what I ask you to do during this is try and clear your palate, empty the glass, and take home some new information. And we'll try and keep it as real and down to earth as possible. Is that fair? All right. Not all this complicated stuff. In our world, we have 110 full-time people. Designers, developers, SEO engineers, social media people, content writers, videographers, video marketers, editors, web designers. We have a lot of people. And every one of them is an expert at what they do, and I love them for that. But they also believe that their area is most important right now, no matter what. I have twits that think you need to learn to tweet right now, and they will sell you on it, and that will sound really, really good. It doesn't mean that's real. So these guys, and I'm talking about my own team, they're passionate about what they do. But what they're missing is someone that knows business. They're missing someone that understands there's logistics, operations, a budget, money, time, assets. There's strengths, there's weaknesses, there's threats, and all these things have to be taken into account in order to properly give you guys the input you need. No one can tell you from the front of the room what you need to do to your business right now. It's impossible. The only way that you're going to get good advice is if we hook up, partner, and we look at a lot of data. How long have you been in business? Where are you holding all of your client data? Is it sitting in QuickBooks? Do you have email addresses? Are you capturing leads and opportunities? Can you easily get to them? What kind of questions are you asking your customers when you sit in their home? Are you finding out if they have allergies? You seeing if their husband has sleep apnea? Do they have condensation in the windows? They got mold growing? What are their issues that you can come back to and sell later? Do you have that information? Do you have quality reviews? A lot of them. Where are they? Do you not have any reviews? How many texts do you have? Are you guys coming home from every single appointment with that bling? That's what we call reviews. Okay? We've got to know a lot about where you are, but we also have to know where you want to go in order to give you a plan, which it's a two-way street. So it requires both of us to sit down and get to work and start looking at this stuff. You guys have a half sheet of piece of paper in front of you. If you fill that out, a couple things are going to happen. One, we'll make sure you get a copy of the videos. and you'll get all the sessions from the whole day. So if you want to go through the other ones, we cover different things, different examples in each one of them. And 2, we'll do a ton of different reports for you that are real eye openers. This is not a report card. I'm not a teacher. It's not about your grade. I know you probably didn't do any of what we're evaluating. You just chose who did it, right? Usually it's going to be a friend, a family member, or another F. That puts this stuff together. But you guys got to know where you're sitting. You have to have that information in front of you. Last session, we did a report, pulled up their local listings. We pulled the 70 local listings. It was their company name, their address, and their competitor's phone number, and they were snagging their phone calls from their listings, and they would have never known. That's normal. That happens all the time. We see it all the time. So awareness is key. Get the reports, fill out and if you're worried about us being salespeople, we own the business. I have 3,000 of those half sheets of paper because we've spoke for the since October. When it gets cool, we start speaking. So we're going to run them. You'll have them. If you're interested in working with us, I mean, that's something that you can do. But other than that, take the information, even if you take it back to your existing web people. So there's 2 elements to this we're going to go over. One is a framework. That's your website. And the other is the engine. Your website. It's you online. It's a digital version of you. Essentially, it's representing your company while you go do other things. You agree? So we have to think about our websites as what do I want me to look like if it's out there working while I'm doing something else? Do I want it to be educated? Do I want it to look professional? Do I want it to be easy to communicate with? Do I want it to be informational? All of those things need to be incorporated into the site, and that's for people. We haven't even got into what do you need to have your site structured like in order to even be an option to people, which means we've got to get our website in a position where Google thinks you're the one to present to those people looking for what it is you do. Fair? Hey, I will tell you now, there is not a website unless you are in the tiniest little town and there's 3 HVAC guys. Typically, you cannot buy a website and it drives new business. It doesn't work like that. Okay? You can take a website, and if it's done properly, it can help you close more of the business you're working hard for. It can help you close more of the referral business. But if anybody sells you on if you buy a website, your phone's going to ring off the hook, it doesn't work like that. I've had people come up all day and say, I bought a website, I tried to Google all these things and I'm not showing up. My next question is, are you paying for SEO? Do you have content? Do you have link building? Because if not, if they sold you on this website alone is going to do it, that's not real. Okay? So it's going to require an engine. Some of the things in the engine, this is where it gets a little tough. Some of the things in the marketing engine, you've got to just get done even though they're not revenue generators. And that's never fun. Your local listings, they need to have your correct address. They need to have your correct company name. They need to have your right phone number. That's how Google validates you. Having the wrong information is bad. Your Google business listings, social media, whether you like it or not, they got to be there. People want to know, are you transparent? Are you there? Are you current and alive? So we got to get there, but we can do it over time. So that being said, let's get on the same page with just this. How many of you are dads? Are you dads? Any dads in the room? You got kids? Moms? Homeowners? Husbands? Wives? All right, so take off your business hat and just sit right there for just a minute. You don't own a company right now. If you need something, you're at home, need something. You want to put in a new countertop, your kitchen sink is broken, you want to put a pool in the backyard, you want to do a new roof, you want to order food, whatever you want to do. You want to look where to go on the weekend. What do you naturally do first? Grab the phone. Then what? Search it. Do you talk to it or do you type it in? Okay. All right. Awesome. Google search. On the phone. Type. Next. Google it. Computer. Phone. Computer. Talk to it. Type in it. Phone. Google. Talk. Type. Okay. Google. Type. Type. Same. 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 Anybody own an Alexa? Not yet. Do you talk to your devices? Lazy. Don't even type anymore. Jeez. So if you think about this, if I type in AC repair, Dallas, Texas. If I talk, I'll say, Alexa, Siri, find me the best air conditioning repair company in Dallas with the best reviews. Right? You have a conversation with these devices because they talk back. But your query is different, right? When you guys talk to your devices, you're talking to Alexa or whatever, do you talk different than you would type? Okay, awesome, we'll stay there. How many of you would ask for a referral? Anyone? I got a couple kind of. Okay, if you get a referral from your mama, are you going to call them or are you going to Google them? Yeah. Okay, so this, I've had TSMs tell me that they gave their best friend a referral to their dealer who's their client, and then asked them 3 months later, how'd it go? You know, my buddy take care of you? And they're like, I mean, they were great, but you know, I went and looked them up, and there was another company, the prices were really equivalent, but they had more reviews and they were better. And he's like, I do this for a living. We went to school together since grade school. Are you serious? So I say that because it boils down to just this. So think back. You're back to you're not in business mode yet. In the last 12 months, you're not an existing client of this company or product. In the last 12 months, how many of you have made a purchase because of television, radio, newspaper, magazine, billboard? Am I missing anything? Any purchases in the last 12 months? What'd you buy? Have you actually dug into those reviews on that?
Is it good?
You do love it? Okay, I can't. My Pillow, Copper Pot, and the Poff water. Okay, I'm gonna leave it alone. Okay, I got you. Anyone else? What'd you buy? Have you bought anything? Anyone else? None? No? Yeah? What'd you buy? My husband's back there, ex-military weapons trainer. There you go. You guys need her pillow, and then I got somebody. No, I'm just okay. So, anyone else? That's the most in every session. In fact, that's the most in a room of this size in the last 3 months of sessions. I probably spoke to about 1,000 people, and that's the most number that only had one item purchased from either of those. Last year, I got about 3 to 4 people per audience if I had 100 people in the room. This year, I might get one, and it's 50-50 shot. So put your business hat back on. How many of you have paid for any of those marketing things for your own company? Okay, don't even need to raise your hand. So I'm not saying they're bad. Not saying that. There are ways to use print and traditional advertising versus inbound marketing to grow a business. When we do it, we'll build a landing page, take the list of all the customers on paper you only have addresses for. We'll take the list you purchased a while back. We'll take all that stuff, get it scanned, drop it in a database. We'll send them a mass mailer. We'll drive them to a landing page to sign up to win a free thermostat. Now I have all their email addresses, and I'll never send them a piece of paper again. So if you think about how people buy, what do you do when you go to the trash? When you have your marketing hat on, you go look at the stuff, your company owner hat. When you go to the trash normally, or you go to the mailbox, you go to the mailbox, you go straight to recycling trash in the mid stage, you put it next to your fireplace. Technology has changed everything, and it is changing so fast, we feel like it's just kind of coasting along. It's not. 2 years ago, websites needed to become responsive because mobile phones were obviously popular. Then it went to wearable devices, watches. Now it's AI devices, Alexa and Google Home. And consumers are adopting these things faster than we're adopting them as business owners. That's a problem because that makes a disconnection in between who they find and where. So, fundamentals. Base fundamentals. Website first. It is you. If it's out of whack, if it's old, Google made 100 requirements changes last year. because there's new devices. Now there's AI because we got better hackers because of Russia, whatever it is, right? Google makes these changes to present better information to its customers. But the problem with that is that means websites are lasting for shorter and shorter periods of time. Websites are only lasting for 12 months. You might be able to stretch it to 24 without replacing it. But if the technology is old and outdated and you're investing in marketing into it, you're burning through cash. If we do anything out of order, we're burning through cash. Website without the right content, waste of space. All it is an online brochure. You can have a website with the best marketing, be on 100 pages of Google on page 1, number 1 for 100 different services you sell in 10 different cities, and your phone cannot ring once because you're missing what? Reviews. And that's happened over and over again. I've seen people, if we do anything out of order, you'll be spending money and then blowing it out the other side because it doesn't work. And then when you have those things in place, yeah, we need to start a marketing program. We need to start thinking about how to invest our money into marketing things that are going to generate permanent, long-term compounding interest impacts on our business. Here's the difference. If I go invest in a television show or a television commercial, do I have anything when that airtime is over? They're going to run it twice every other Friday or whatever. Do I have anything when it's done? Nada. If I take the same time and I invest it into that video, slice it and dice it, drop it on YouTube, what do I have? Something that lasts forever. If I do handwritten notes to every client to say thank you for doing business with me, send them in a mailer, lick the stamp, put it in the mailbox, handwrite everything, how long does it last? If I do a video and on that video I say, hey, it's Jennifer with ABC Heating and Air Conditioning, I just wanted to personally thank you for working with our company to fix your heating and air conditioning needs. If you know anybody that needs heating or air conditioning service, please refer them our way. And oh, by the way, go to my website, click on the link up top, click the stars, and leave us a review. We would greatly appreciate it. How long can I use that video for? Forever. It's personal. They can hear me. They can see me. I got to ask for 3 things, right? A little bit of self-interest in it. That's permanent. If I create a blog article and I optimize it for a service that I sell in a city that I sell it, is that permanent? The longer it's out there, the more important it becomes, more power it has. If I post something on Twitter, how long does that last? Seconds. It's gone. Okay? Print, paper, right? We have to be careful. We need to make sure in our world, if every single year we did more of what works and what lasts, we have a growing business. It's that simple. If every year I added 10 new pages to my website for services and locations that I sell those services in, and I optimize them, those 10 pages are going to be worth more to me 5 years from now than they were today. And they're going to last, and you're going to keep adding. You're going to have something that grows. That's where we need to get to. Most websites, this is how people feel. They don't like them. They're ugly. They're old. They just bought it, and it looks like garbage anyway. They don't own it. They can't fix it. They can't change it. It doesn't rank. It doesn't drive new business, or it's missing key functions. Your clients are finicky. You have a woman sitting in the house that all she wants to do is go to Mexico or Bahamas or Hawaii this summer. And you have a man that's like, we're getting ready for summer, and our air conditioning system was bad last year. We need a new air conditioning system. She's like, no, I need Hawaii. No, I need a new air conditioning system. No, I'm going to get Hawaii. If she goes to your website and it doesn't say, financing available, apply for financing online, we've got payments that start at blank, she's out. Because she wants Hawaii and a new air conditioner. If they go Google your company name, and in the right side, it says close now because it's 5:01, and you have your Google listing set to close at 5, they're out. Doesn't need to be, even if you don't have emergency service. So there's core things we've got to have in place. All of this saying we've got to do the right things in the right order at the right time. I've seen companies, I had a gentleman, this is 2 weeks ago, he was paying $2,500 a month just for Yelp to be on their listing. And he's not on the biggest plan. I can do 70 local business listing directories because we buy them in bulk for $200. But he has one listing And the rest of them are all garbage. They're wrong. They're inaccurate. So he's got business flowing out on one end, all the inaccuracies, and some new business coming in on one end. I have a gentleman that was spending over $3,000 a month on search engine optimization on a website that was set to no index, no follow, means don't come to the site, Google. Don't crawl it. I've had him spending it with no content. I had a gentleman that just said, he was like, we pay for SEO. I was like, you don't have one page on your site that says what you sell. It says you do service, repair, and maintenance. For what? What all can you do service, repair, and maintenance on? A whole bunch of things. A vacuum cleaner, right? Anything. So we'll get there. So when it comes down to your website, stay away from Bob. Anybody ever hired just Bob, just the guy, one guy? I got this guy building my website. Here's the challenge. Moms don't give birth to Bob with these personality traits. You need a designer. They're creative. They go to art school. They're fancy. They dress nice. They have real friends, right? You need a developer. They stare at a screen that looks like the Matrix, probably in the garage, and Friday night they act like they're hanging out with friends. There's no one there but a bunch of handles, meaning their names, okay? That's a different person. An engineer, what do they like? Statistics, numbers, researching, analytical. Do they guess? Do they make decisions quickly? Are they going to tell you a decision based on their feelings? No. If you have a designer build your website, you're going to get a gorgeous website that has no brain. If you have a developer build it, you're going to get a functional website that's not pretty. An engineer, you're still going to be planning and talking about it. Planning the budget and the schema and the database and everything else. And then you guys got to have a content writer that understands HVAC, where you guys technically operate more than one business. You have an air conditioning company, and oh, by the way, you have a heating company. And depending on where you are, you might also have two more companies in the middle, depending on geography. My Florida ones, you're a little different, right? You've got 80-20, maybe 70-30, 70-40. So it just depends. Okay? You got to have all of these. And these guys by themselves, they're going to duke it out. You got to have somebody that understands the business, your goals, where you want to go, how your consumers buy. There's still other resources that have to be part of that. So when I go to a website, have I showed you any sites yet? Oh my gosh, all these classes are running together. Okay, so when I get to a site, I have a matter of seconds to make an impression and to give the consumer the information they need in order to stick, stay, or bounce. One of the two. That's it. Okay? They need to know immediately who you are, what you do, where you do it, how to reach you, 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 how to, I can keep going. Are you transparent? That's social media. This is a trust factor for a lot of people. If they think you're not on social media, it means you're hiding. No one can reach you. They don't like that. And what do other people think about you? That's the core functions of any site. When you get there, if you're missing any of those pieces, you're creating exit doors that are sending them off the tracks. Okay? There are other people that are going to come in and they want to know, do you provide financing? Do you have a maintenance plan? They're going to want to calculate savings. They're going to look stuff up and do their research on their own because they have analytical personalities. How many of you deal with women on the way in the door? Yeah? Do women care more about what you know or how much you care? How much you care first. So if they go to your website and it's a bunch of manly 16-ton equipment, is that how much it weighs? I don't know. Okay, I don't know. Guessing there. But if they go there and it's all equipment, do you get to build any kind of personal connection with the female? None. They're emotionally charged. The pictures, the images, the graphics. When a woman goes to take care of something like this, in her mind, she doesn't need a new air conditioner. In her mind, her nose is cold when she's sitting down and watching TV and it makes her crazy. Her feet are freezing at night. She's got condensation in windows. Her little baby is laying on the ground and there's animals in there, a dog running around. Her husband's snoring like logs over there with sleep apnea. They got air quality issues. She's got some kind of a problem she needs to resolve. So we need to think more along those lines than just the box. Make sense? I also want to keep people around. We got to make a home for our customers. We can't treat our customers like you come in the door and then boom, I'm on to the next client. We got to give them a home. If they come in, they want to schedule service. They already know you, hopefully. Hey, when they come back, give them an area that's a my account area. This system is called the CRM system. Can I borrow this paper? Oh my gosh, all these cords. Okay, on here, this is the best possible list we can put together without knowing anything about your company or where you're at. We know a lot about HVAC and HVAC dealers, but for you guys personally, this is going to tell you an order. Is it correct? I don't know. We got to do a lot of research to figure it out. First is your website. First and foremost. That's out there working some way or another. Second, it's the content. That is what you do. Your services, what you sell, are very simple. You have 6 primary key phrases for air conditioning and heating. Double them because of the variations. AC repair, AC service, AC installation, AC replacement, AC tune-up, AC maintenance. Variation is air conditioner and air conditioning. On the furnace side, it depends where you're located. If you're in California, you got furnaces and heaters. If you're in the East Coast, probably furnaces and boilers. If you're in Washington, straight heaters. Furnaces are for old people. They don't even know what that is. It's equivalent to a wall heater. They don't know. So if you don't have a page of content on your site that says that's what you do, you're not even playing the game. It'd be like a retail store selling tennis shoes, but forgetting to put the tennis shoes on the site. That's what you sell. That's where you sell it. If you don't, you're a geo-based company. It's location-based. So if it's 100 degrees outside, you probably want to stay as close to your home base as possible and sell the most profitable items as possible because you guys get a lot more calls if it's 100 degrees outside, right? So I want to do a lot of installations. I want to do a lot of replacements. And I want to do it within 10 miles, 15 miles of my business. If it's 70 degrees out, I might, install a couple generators and drive further, whatever it is, depending on where you're at. So we've got to make sure if you want Google to recognize that your company services more areas than the one that's on the footer and the contact us page, you have to put a piece of paper in the drawer for Google to be able to find you. Did I show you guys how to calculate the number of pages yet on Google? Okay. Jeez. So this is what normally happens. You guys create a website, or somebody does for you that doesn't understand HVAC, and they write a website and it says home, about us, our services, FAQ, products, contact us. When you go to Google and you type in a word, services, you guys seen Bruce Almighty? Okay. You know when God's in there and he says anything, he's in the big warehouse and there's a file cabinet in there and he says anything you've ever thought, anything you've ever done, anything you've ever said, it's in this drawer. Drawer flies across the entire warehouse, right? So when you go to Google, that's a filing cabinet. And inside this filing cabinet called services, how many pages are in there? It's this number right here. 6, that's one of those numbers you have to think about it for a second. You're like, 6,560,000,000 pages are in that drawer. Okay, so some companies get slick and they'll say, well, let's label the page cooling, which no real people search for. That's just you guys. And that has 351 million pages in it. Of course, about us, our services, products, 5.4. AC, 2.3. So here's how this works. We started off in the beginning. Do we agree that everyone goes online and Googles? Okay, so we're there. When they go online, they're probably going to put in something like AC, repair, West, Chicago. I'll just go air conditioning repair. Google gave me a recommendation, right? In this drawer, how many pages are there? Does that sound better? Right? That's less, because I only need to be in the top 3 of that number in order to make any money. okay? So our clients, this is Blue Frost, one of our clients. When we sit down with them, we're going to tell him, if you sell it and where you sell it, I need a page of content to get it there. And then I have to make that page popular, which is called link building, social media, local listings, blogging, all of those things, right? Comment, sharing, liking. Okay, that's making a page popular. So the more pages I have in the drawer for AC repair in the cities I want to get found. I own real estate in that big drawer that's across the warehouse, right? In order to move these pages from the back of the drawer to the front of the drawer, I got to make them popular. Because Google, like your clients, believes what everyone else has to say about these pages, no different than your clients believe reviews over what you say about yourself. Make sense? All right. When you get really good at this, so let me go to one of my New Yorkers. There's only 162. How many of you feel like you're in a small town? Okay. Amen to you. Good job. So here's the thing. These numbers usually equate to population as well. Okay? The bigger the metropolitan area, the bigger the number is going to go. The smaller the town or city, the smaller the number is going to go. Population also equals opportunity. If you're in a small opportunity place, you probably need more key phrases, but you also probably have less competition. If you're in a big metropolitan area, you have lots of competition, lots of opportunity, but it's going to take you longer to get there. You should go to a small town. Just kidding. So here, this is a client that sticks. Dustin, I love him. He's been with us for 10 years. And we've fought our way through lots of mindset changes. Now he's actually on Facebook wearing pink booties on Breast Cancer Awareness Day, doing a Facebook Live video. And he just got put on the news because he did Facebook Live video and he was wearing pink booties and everything else. So, I mean, I love it. But in the beginning, he said Facebook doesn't work for HVAC contractors. So we have to go through some mind adjustments in the beginning. Here's what happens when you stick to it and you don't quit. This is a big money maker for him. He owns page 1, position 1, 2, 3, 4, just the ad. So this is a call we get from him. Hey, Jen, got a family member, started a company just like mine on my own block. Can you pop his tires? I was like, no. He was like, okay, well, can you get him off the front page of Google because it irks my skin every time I see him? So I got you. Yes, we can do that. So there's 10 listings organically always. Sometimes there's pay-per-click, sometimes there's not. Sometimes there's a map, sometimes there's not. So he has Fishkill, I think. Fishkill, New York. Let's go there. So this is out of 282,000 pages. Page 1, position 1, 2, 3, 4. And then I promised I would use my own site to try and pull that up to see if we can get 5 and 6. He does not want to see him in the top half. So as these, let's go, trying to remember the road signs. Beacon, 451,000, page 1, position 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Out of 10. That's pretty good. So that's his market. If you're in a small town and you stick to it and don't give up, which the hardest part for almost every business is year 1. Oh, well, I should say the hardest part is getting through your website design and development project without having a breakdown. Get through it. Get through year 1 because that's hard and it's just hard. And as you grow, so for us, our math, I don't know about other companies, it takes us 30 days per 100,000 pages to get to page 1. So if there are 451,000 pages in that drawer, how many months would it take? 4.5 months, right? So this is how you have to plan your timing. There's some math. So right now we're in, what are we in, April? Almost in May? When we're beginning? Jeez, I need my own bed. I haven't seen it in months. Okay, so we're in April. Let's say it took you 60 days to have a website rebuilt, redesigned, all your content written, and so forth. So we're going in March, April, May, June. So we're in June. and you want to go after a key phrase that has 400,000 competitive pages and you want to make money off that investment, right? So what phrase should you be going after? An air conditioning phrase? 4.5 months later, right? In the SEO world, it's the opposite of everything else you've done, for the most part, okay? If you guys have a low phrase, like 100,000 things, you can go after that and take it over. You did? How many? Which one? What is it? What is URS? That's your company name.
I'm saying we just go with us. And we're number one.
Okay, good job.
I don't see. I guess on mobile devices doesn't tell you how many people are on.
No, you won't see how many on a mobile device.
Okay, that's-
Okay, so yes, you should Google your own company name and you should show up. That's critical. And you guys are not that creative with picking your company names. So it's no longer a phone book. You don't need to go with A1. that's all done. Or affordables. So right here, what do you notice on this page that stands out? Anything? The review stars. Perfect. How long we got, Mike? All right. What do you notice on this page? Google came out with a new way we can recode websites, where we can hard code your cumulative number of stars from all of your review sites on every single page on your entire website. This is your competitive advantage for either the next 6 months, year, 2 years, 3 years, I don't know. Contractor industry is behind other industries. It's not as quick to evolve into stuff. When everybody has that, it's not going to matter. Right now, there's only a small group of dealers that know how to do this or have companies that know how to do this. There's not a lot of developers that know how to do that. Google doesn't have requirements for it yet. But what does happen is, as you start, if you think about this, every single page, this is the label I put on the file to get it in the drawer, right? So if that label is those real generic ones, you're out. You're not going to get found. So this is air conditioner, furnace, savings, rebates, tax credits. That's a lot. So there's 177 pages in there. I don't know if this is being optimized. It's sitting on page 1, position 1. Which one stands off the page? Okay. Let's see if you can remove furnace. The longer you do this, so now we'll get rid of one of those words, see how well that page performs, because it's one page with a whole bunch of phrases in it. That's more than I would do, but then I don't want to buy content for every one of the pages, so that's fine. So then we'll take off savings and just do air conditioner rebates and see if they pop up. Not yet. You notice it's just the big companies that are doing that. So now they're on page 2, position 3. So they're number 13 of 272,000. Can they get that to rank? Yes. They just need more links. So that's one page that can rank for 3 different phrases. And as soon as it's on page 1 with those stars, your phone rings, you start making money. So when the first year, our mindset as a business owner is, how much do I have to spend? What does my budget need to be? That's how we think. What we have to do is get you to where Destin is, or where these guys are, where they're like, how much do we want to grow? Because they know with confidence, if they buy a page of content for a particular product or service they sell in a particular area, and backlinking to that, so we promote it, that page, and we make it popular, they know I will spend X amount, so say it's 90 or 100 bucks for that phrase, for 3 months, 4 months, 6 months, 12 months, whatever it is, and then I will make money on it. So they're not thinking about it the same way. The more that we focus on putting the right infrastructure in place and getting to the point where you handpick where you want to grow, what product you want to grow, and what city you want to grow, and you walk into it knowing, this is how much it's going to cost me. I got to be willing to spend $60 a month for blank. And then when it gets there, make some money, do it again, do it again, do it again. Bootstrap your way to success with marketing, using your investments for permanent long-term impacts on your company, and this will not feel so frustrating. And remember, no matter what, don't get too sedentary into anything and never count on only one funnel. If I go AC repair Sacramento, every one of my, I'm not calling my kiddos, my clients, every one of my guys in Sacramento that we said, please, please, you got to count on more than just your business listing. If they didn't add those things, Google decides they're going to get rid of the regular map. You notice this has two different things. It says sponsored and it says Google guaranteed. And this now costs $42 a pop to be on here. Well, I have clients in this area that were on the free map, and that's how their phone rang. And when Google made that change, it stopped. And they didn't have other things sitting out there. So don't get too comfortable in any one thing. There's no magic pill. Things are going to change. Put the permanent controls into place and be ready that if this funnel fails, cool. I still have organic SEO. I still have email. I still have video. I still have my social media accounts. There's plenty of ways to make money on the internet. Right now, it's build the infrastructure, do it right the first time, and stick to it. Then it's the content based on your services and locations. Then it is the base marketing things, making sure that you have things in place. When you sit down with someone to look over your strategy every spring and fall, your conversation should be, what's working? Let's do more of it. It's not a one-time thing. What's working? Let's do more of it. What's not working? Let's reallocate it to the thing that is. And what am I not doing yet? Like things on this list, what do we add next? What's going to get us the greatest impact on our business? Do I start with email marketing? Do I start with social media? Do I do a giveaway campaign? How am I going to get the biggest leverage out of my dollars? Every single quarter you can do that. Think like that. And your business will have a steady, perfect growth. And oh, by the way, your websites all need to say that you're hiring 24/7. Because once you start this, it's not like you just turn it off. So keep collecting resumes. Is this helpful? I probably covered that much of what I should with you. So a couple things. One, fill out these forms. Okay, let us run the reports for you. Like I said, I have, because of all our speaking events, I probably have 3,000 of these. From the last 60 days, there's only Mike and I and 2 salespeople. Everyone else is all doing work. So if you need to talk soon, write on there. Urgent, VIP, now. Like scribble on it, do something. If you're cool just setting up a strategy session and we can work through, through summer or after summer, just write on there after summer or September or whatever. And that'll help us prioritize who we need to talk to sooner than later. If you don't have a website or you have a 5-page site and you know it's a hunk of junk, this is the first time we've done this, but for those people who want to get into a site professionally designed, we have 2 options. One is a 15-page website. We're not charging for the website technically. We're stretching it over 24 months to make it easy to get into. It's $300 a month, nothing up front. You have a 15-page website, all little bells and whistles, SARE calculator, troubleshooter, there's a ton of stuff in there. Get it done, get it started. Or there's a landing page if you're just getting your business off the ground in a startup company. And then add on to it. Scale it over time. If you've got a bunch of website or a bunch of content on your own site, don't do that. Sign up for a strategy session. And we can do some evaluation, go from there. Cool?
Okay.
It's cocktail time. Enjoy. Thanks, you guys.